Mel, you were saying at the beginning of this session that you're not feeling yourself and that you'd lost your fizz?
Yeah, that's right, Doctor. I'm very flat. I'm fizzless.
Well, when was the last time you felt fizzy?
Oh, Doc. Well, it's all flooding back. It was a grey and rainy day. I'd left my umbrella in the tube. My fringe had plastered itself to my head like seaweed, and I staggered into a cafe, dripping like a broken tap. And that's when I saw it shining, just in my peripheral, in the corner of my eye.
The tips jar?
No, Doc. A small, perfectly formed, sweet, juicy, crunchy.
I think you might be referring to one of these.
Doc, you've done it. You've found my fizz.
Well then, Mel, I'm prescribing you one pink lady apple a day. And your hour's up.
Add a packet to your shopping basket this week.
And your hour is up.
I'll grab a handful of sausages off the breakfast bar in the hotel and stick them in a pocket. And then during the day, I'll take them out, blow the fluff off them and eat them as I go through the body. She thinks it's the most appalling.
No, I'm fine with that. I do that with the hard-boiled eggs. If there's a hard-boiled egg on a hotel, breakfast stall, they'll go in the pocket, and some rolls. Okay, team, tools at the ready, get your high-vis vests on and your emotional speeches in the back pocket. It is me, Mel Gedroich, the Pearly Gates project manager with nothing but a clipboard and a dream. This is the podcast where your favourite celebs have had their final curtain call. And we're here to rebuild the whole story from the ground up. Welcome to... Each and every week, a dearly departed celebrity joins me in sweet, sweet purgatory to discuss their fantasy death, last words and everything in between. And talking of sweet, this week we are partnering up with Pink Lady Apples because you know what? They always bring some much-needed pizzazz to your lunch break. Anyway, on to today's guest. He hasn't come to DIY, he's come to D.I.E. Deathlings, please be upstanding for the brilliant...
Nick Knowles, Nick Knowles.
Oh, can I have that for home?
Of course you can.
So I can have that whenever I walk into a room?
Of course you can.
Do you know, I made a mistake recently when I was out somewhere. I walked around a corner with my wife and the woman suddenly went, "Oh my God, it's Nick Knowles." And my wife said, "That's a bit weird." And I said, "Yeah, but I could do with a bit more of that at home." I should never have said anything. Every time she walks in a room, then the kids picked it up. Every time they walk in the room, couldn't stop them.
So what you have now, every time you open a door into a room, that's going to play.
Motion sensor, get that to play on the speakers.
Yeah.
Have that as my intro whenever I turn up on stage anywhere.
Yeah. It's so great to have you on the show, Nick, can I just say.
That's very kind of you. Thank you very much.
And also, are you up for staying for our little Barnacle podcast? It's like a little adjacent podcast. It only takes about 12 minutes.
Well, I do like seafood and crustacea, so
yeah,
I like a whelk. I like a really good whelk. I was taken to the coast by my dad. My nan lived in Hastings.
Ah,
so
lovely.
we used to go down for a plate of whelks or a plate of cockles or like a big rubbery whelk that fights back when you're trying to chew it.
Are they the ones that are sort of conical, the whelk, or are they the tiny little round ones?
No, they're big round ones the size of giant snails, and what you get out of it is a big rubbery sort of gristly snail.
Yeah.
Which comes cooked on a plate and then you put vinegar on it.
The vinegar's key, isn't it?
It is absolutely key.
And it wouldn't have been garlic in those days, no.
No,
no.
Look, when I was growing up, my mum never we occasionally got a little bit of mint in the new potatoes in spring.
Yeah.
But no, herbs and spices were the work of the devil. And
it was a herb-free zone, wasn't it?
And that family down the end of the road who ate garlic, I don't know what's wrong with them. Now I cook with all herbs and spices. And,
yeah. Because for me, the rubbery snail concept, you can only do it with garlic for me now. Do you know what I mean? And basically, essentially what you're tasting.
Wouldn't work with garlic.
No, a whelk wouldn't work with garlic, would it?
No, I don't. No, not a whelk. You can't have seafood. I don't think you can have seafood. Well, mussels, I suppose.
Yeah.
No.
Mussels have got to have garlic, surely.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting this to go this way.
I know.
The whelk conversation.
Let's
save it for the Barnacle show.
Save it for the Barnacles. But that's great that you're going to stick around. And Nick, I am going to mention this now. And of course, Deathlings, if you want to join us on 6 Feet Under, aka the Barnacle podcast, you know what to do. Go to Apple Podcasts or go to wherethere'sawillthere'sawake.com and we'll see you there. There's more of this I know. And there's just more chat and more of everything that you love. Now, I need to clear the air with you, Nick Knowles.
What did I do?
No, it's what I did. And since we're in a sort of I'm not going to say religious, but, we're getting stuff off our chest. Slightly confessional kind of zone. I need to say sorry, Nick, because in 2003, I did something which was not nice. More of that when these people have sold us something. Yes, so here we are. And you can see that my eyes are down. I'm not making any eye contact. I feel slightly ashamed. In 2003, Nick, and you did pull me up on this,
Did I?
On a live show, Rise, the ill-fated Rise, on Channel 4's breakfast daytime schedule. You said to me, you weren't very nice about me, and I had to just come clean and say that's absolutely true, because I hadn't been, Nick.
Did I?
You did.
I have no memory of this at all. But then I'm getting old, so it's entirely possible.
No. I was doing one of those really quick-fire, slightly annoying interviews. It was for Radio Times.
Right.
And they say, right, answer 30 questions in 30 seconds. You know those ones, quick-fire, and you go, boom, down the phone, boom, 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 boom. And they said, who's your favourite person on TV? And I said, blah, 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 whatever. Who's your least favourite person on TV? And I was like, I kind of like everybody. And they said, no, we need to press you on this. So I looked round and my friend Tom, who was a bit of a curmudgeon, was sitting at the table and he goes, well, I don't know, let's pluck somebody out. Nick Knowles, first name that came to his head. So I said, Nick Knowles, down the phone. And it was printed in the Radio Times, Nick.
Wow, you're dead to me.
I know.
Which is appropriate for this podcast.
I know, but I want to say sorry for that.
Oh, don't be daft. You're not in the minority with people who've said mean things to me over the years. If you get into TV, you have to have a skin like a rhinoceros anyway, don't you?
You do.
You can't go around getting upset by people. Also, you're a comedian, which means that things are funny and sometimes being a lot. Honestly, don't worry about it. Don't.
But I know it's remained with me. It clearly hasn't with you. You'd forgotten about it.
Completely forgotten. To be honest.
But it's remained.
You want to see some of the coverage I got when I actually released an album? That was pretty impressive.
That album is cult. It's cult.
Close. Spelling's close. It's it was an interesting thing.
Every kind of people.
It was
every kind of people. I've got it on CD, Nick Knowles. I was given it for Christmas one year. Listen, don't you go knocking your album.
It's very no. Hey, listen. The fantastic thing about it was that that Chris Moyles decided that he was going to get one of them to number one, and he did.
Which one? Eye for eye, eye for an eye.
No, it was the one.
He doesn't
it'll come
even
back to me.
remember.
I can't remember because I wasn't taking it that seriously. But because he did this comedy thing and he got to number one, so it was an iTunes number one. This single. So when I go to America and do work over there, they go, "Oh, Jimmy, who's done this for work with Attenborough? He's done work with the Royals, and he's had an iTunes number one." And nobody knows it was a joke, but it's there in the record books. So I'm now introduced as iTunes number one. Yeah,
Eye for an iTunes, absolutely. But anyway, then I'm glad the air is cleared. Certainly from my side, I feel better.
Oh no, consider it absolutely cleared. I have no memory of it, so it was clear for me. I was walking around happily unconscious of the fact that you were struggling with your conscience.
Well, I have been struggling, and thank you. No, I can rest easy now.
Say 3 Hail Marys, and that's normally what you do at the end of a confessional, isn't it?
Absolutely. A couple of our thoughts. Are you born Catholic?
Left foot. Yeah, I was born Catholic.
Same.
Gave it up fairly early on.
Now, we're going to kick off proceedings, Nick, if you would indulge me with a little game that I've invented specially for you.
Thanks very much.
It's called SOS or No Stress, because we are celebrating the fact that DIY SOS is about to go into its 33rd, am I right, season?
Oh, I don't know which season. It's 26 years.
I think it's 33.
Is it?
Which is incredible.
I think it's 260 odd builds. Phenomenal.
And every single one I've ever seen makes me cry. Every single one.
Yeah, I'm trying to get better at it. You do your best. If it upsets people, you got to. No, they are very emotional.
Every single one, Nick. I'm going to give you some situations, Nick Knowles. You have to decide if it's SOS or no stress.
Right.
Are you up for this?
Yeah, can't wait.
Good. A leaky tap you've ignored for 3 years. SOS or no stress?
SOS, I'd have to do something about that. I don't really like doing stuff, but yeah.
A hole in the roof.
Yeah, SOS, obviously.
A kitchen extractor fan that sounds like a jet engine.
No stress.
No stress. A radiator that only heats at the bottom.
I've become my father. I go into other people's houses and feel the radiators to see whether they need bleeding. It's terrible.
Okay.
So that's an SOS, I'm afraid.
A lock that takes a few tries.
No stress.
No stress. A boiler that needs restarting occasionally.
Yeah, that's an SOS.
Is it?
Yeah, because there's an inherent problem, and it's probably to do with. I mean, I don't want to get this,
No,
but the
this
fact
is
of the
great.
matter is, if you've got a boiler that keeps cutting out, there's a reason it keeps cutting out, and if you keep restarting it, you're not getting rid of the problem that was in it originally. It's likely to be sooting up of the gas jets, and you need that cleaning out because otherwise it will keep doing it, and it will do it at the worst possible moment, like Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
So just do it. And don't ever go at doing yourself. When your Uncle Fred says, "Oh, I can come round and restart your boiler,"
no.
get a proper gas-safe engineer.
Yeah.
That's the only proper answer I'm going to give you. But
I am loving this.
Don't mess with electrics and don't mess with gas.
Okay. Who wants their gas jets sooted up? I certainly blooming do not. Right. D.I.E, we've covered that. Nick Knowles. We need to drill down, which you're very used to doing, into some detail. Okay?
Okay.
Right. First of all, here we are at the Pearly Gates. We're both born Catholic. I don't know about you, but when the moment of death comes, I'm sure as hell going to be confessing some sins.
I'm absolutely determined not to fall back on religion when I'm dying.
Are you? I know I'm going to absolutely do the opposite.
Yeah, see, the thing is, if you're brought up a Catholic and you get all that stuff, and then you like reason it through, and you go, yeah, I just don't. I'm sorry, I can't go with this anymore. And then when you get ill or you're dying, you go, oh no, I need to bounce back on God just as a fail-safe.
Just in case, though.
No, I'm not. I can't do it just in case. I believe what I believe now, and that's it. And I'm absolutely determined that I don't go back on that just before I pop my clogs.
This is really interesting. We'll dig more into this.
And when I get to the Pearly Gates, it won't be so much as whether they'll let me in, is whether I want to come in. Because what the hell have you been up to, and why have you let all this stuff happen? I would interrogate them, not them interrogate me.
Nick, I think you might be the leader of a new cult.
Oh, I love that.
I might
My
follow.
wife and I watch a lot of those on Netflix. It's fantastic what you can get up to if you have your own cult.
You'll have loads of followers, you know. You'll have loads of followers.
I'm not sure. I mean, I know a few people bought the album. That was a joke. Maybe they'll follow me for a joke.
I will follow you, Nick. I will follow you. I'll be there. I'll be your number 2.
No, I wouldn't think anything worse. And that would terrify some of the people I work with, the idea of me as the head of a religious sect. So, yeah.
If the Pearly Gates are squeaky, will you be tempted to whip something out of the tool belt? Do you know what I mean? A little can of oil.
I see what you did there. No. No. The truth of the matter is, look, first of all, there's a misnomer with the program, DIY SOS. Everybody asks me for DIY tips. I've never done DIY in my life.
That's good. Nothing. Literally nothing. You must have put up a shelf.
So what happened was the program used to be people who had done DIY made a mess of it, and I would bring professionals along to fix it.
Exactly.
So we've never done DIY. Our program, as you know now, when we build massive buildings in like 7 days, is a construction program. And I've always, people that say, I take a great deal of pleasure and satisfaction out of tiling my own bathroom. I take a great deal of satisfaction and pleasure out of being down the pub while somebody else tiles my bathroom, because they can do it in half the time twice as good.
Yeah.
So I'd rather do what I do for a living and then pay someone who's really good at that.
Yeah.
Rather than say you're an accountant and you make a very bad job of your bathroom over a period of about 3 months whilst you irritate everybody.
Yeah.
But
But we're at the Pearly Gates. Imagine the Pearly Gates actually do exist.
Right.
And there is somebody, let's call him St. Peter, there saying, all right, Nick, let's have a look down the ledger. Why should you be let in? Are there some things which would open those gates up for you?
I don't think, first of all, I think I would try and avoid that situation in the Q&A. When I was a journalist for 12, 15 years. It's very difficult for people to imagine this, but I was literally a newsreader and ran newsrooms in America and Australia. And
I knew you'd done it in Australia. I didn't realise you'd done it in America as well.
And
My
Phoenix,
God.
Arizona. And I did a bit on ITV in the UK when I got back. And when you turned up at a police scene where there was all ticker tape and they were keeping everybody out, the great trick was to walk through as if you're meant to be there.
Yeah.
And I've done that in various rugby. When I've gone into rugby grounds, I've sat on the England bench at a rugby international by walking in looking like I'm meant to be there.
And just by going, all right.
All right? Just
Yeah.
really confidently walking past, saying hello to the person who's on the gate, lifting the ticker tape, walking through, and they look at you as if to say, they go, he looks like he's meant to be here, so off you go. So I says Pete, all right, Pete, and just walk through on the
Yeah.
basis that he'd go, should I have asked him a question? Oh, never mind, I'll get on with the next one.
Yeah.
So I would hope to avoid all that to and fro and ugly questioning and
just what
weighing in the balance.
sail straight through.
Sail straight through.
I like this. We've never had anyone, I believe, on the pod do this. And I think it's good.
Go with confidence. Just walk in
Yeah.
there. Look like you're meant to be there.
Yeah. I want to...
Carry a ladder. That's a great way of getting in anywhere.
Oh, that's great.
Carry a ladder and have a high vis on. Just walk through. All right, Pete, and then you go through, and he must be fixing the lights in there or something. Maybe he's working on the creaky gate that you mentioned earlier.
I love this. This is brilliant.
You can get in almost anywhere with a high vis and a ladder.
Now, normally we talk about your Last Supper on this pod, but as we've got the amazing Pink Lady Apples team on board, whose apples can most definitely liven up a lunch, we want to know what you're having for...
Liven your lunch with Pink Lady Apples.
They're very good, aren't they?
They're incredible.
Those are nice apples.
They are nice apples. They're good and shiny. Do
Yeah.
take one.
I do
Yeah.
like an apple. My
Yeah.
dad was very into his apples.
Yeah, I love an apple as well. I do like a Pink
Here we
Lady
go.
though. Oh, hear the crunch on that.
Oh, a very good apple.
It's beautiful, isn't it? Lovely zing and very juicy. So
Very sweet.
I mean, normally on the show, we ask you about your Last Supper, but because of our lovely apples we've got today, we're going to do Liven Up Your Lunch. So your last lunch, Nick,
Yep.
tell me about it.
It would have to have probably steak tartare.
Really?
Yeah, like nice, the raw steak with salt, pepper, and
Yeah.
raw egg yolk on the top. And
Does that always go through the mince?
cornichons.
Does it always go through the mincer, the tartare?
Finely chopped, perhaps.
Just
or-
choppy, okay. Would you have a steak tartare before you started on a build when you were alive? Would you do some raw eggs and all that stuff?
Oh no,
before-
it's not really so much that. That's
No.
a sausage sandwich. Or actually, if I'm late for work, which I'm quite often there till midnight. But I'm really bad at getting up in the morning. So if I'm late, normally what I would do, and this appalls Gabby, our designer, is that I'll grab a handful of sausages off the breakfast bar in the hotel and stick them in a pocket, and then during the day I'll take them out, blow the fluff off them, and eat them as just like go through the body. She thinks it's the most appalling.
No, I'm fine with that. I do that with the hard-boiled eggs. If there's a hard-boiled egg on a hotel, breakfast stall, they'll go in the pocket and some rolls.
Yeah.
I think it's fine.
Trouble is with hard-boiled egg, when you crack it and open it, then everyone's going, what's that smell? Because they are stinky, aren't they? Whereas a sausage doesn't have that.
Yeah.
So
Steak tartare,
steak
beautifully
tartare.
done, chopped,
Yeah.
gorgeous. What else?
probably a mid-course, a melanzana parmigiana.
Oh, now
which
we're
I
talking.
absolutely love. The aubergine sort of bake with
Tomatoes, the mozzarella.
Yeah, all of that stuff on it.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Okay.
And then there would be a pasta course.
Oh my days. Okay.
Because I like pasta, and I was once outside Milan airport waiting for a flight in a hotel, and they had a little restaurant there, and you're always surprised where you get the really, really good stuff in Italy. It can be like in a place that looks nothing, or
Totally.
but this was pear, pine nut, and pecorino in a ravioli
Oh,
with the
my
sage butter
Lord.
sauce on top. And I've got to tell you, it was the finest pasta I've ever had anywhere in my life, ever, apart from my wife's pasta.
Pear, pecorino, and pine nut.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
It was delicious. And a pear is like the overlooked fruit in the UK. The French do a lot with it. The Italians do a lot with it. In the UK, loads of people got pear trees, and we all go, oh, isn't that lovely? It's a bit like they're a bit like the Liberal Democrats of fruits. Everybody looks and goes, oh, that's lovely, but then you don't eat one.
Nobody
Do you know what I mean?
tries. Yeah.
So I like pears, and I like pear tartare,
Yes, I love a pear.
and I like poached pears.
Yeah, me too.
But we
Pears
don't-
and chocolate sauce are delicious.
yeah.
Really good, old kind of 70s
Yeah.
fare, but really
That used
good.
to be a thing in the 70s. Do you
Pears and
remember when
chocolate
everybody
sauce.
learned how to melt Mars bars?
Oh, ice cream. We still do it with
And then
vanilla
you pour
ice
them out,
cream.
and you melt Mars bars in a little dish over some hot water, and then you basically that turns into like a caramelly sauce.
Yeah, it's
And then you
delicious.
pour that over pear halves.
Would you have that with? Would you have that
That
for
would be
your
the
pudding?
pudding.
Great. So we've got the steak tartare, we've got the pasta, we've got the melanzana, the
Melanzana parmigiana and the
melanzana,
aubergine
yeah.
bake.
Beautiful, and then ice cream with some Mars bar sauce. No, pears with some Mars bar sauce.
With Mars bar sauce, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And if it was, and then custard, never ice cream.
No, custard.
Ice cream.
Really?
Creamy.
All ice cream.
It's always custard.
Custard. Hot or cold?
No, I like to make it really thick and then leave it in a very flat dish in the fridge until it sets with a really thick skin on the top, and I'll sit and eat it in front of the TV.
Do you know what do you call it frog's blanket? Is that a thing?
We didn't, but it's a good name for it.
Frog's blanket, the skin on the top.
Yeah, I love it.
We always called it that in the 70s.
Me and Billy, when we're on location, they make custard because they do catering on there.
Yeah.
And then they'll keep the custard afterwards and put it in a dish and they'll save it. And then me and Billy will fight over who gets the skin.
Oh, no, I didn't like the skin so much.
No,
but,
people are either one way or the other on the
yeah,
skin.
exactly.
And cold custard.
Would you go a tin of custard?
I would go a tin of custard.
Same,
I'd go a
absolutely.
tin of cold beans.
Yeah, same.
I've been known to drink a tomato soup, Heinz tomato soup, out of a can.
Oh, totally cold.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
care. That doesn't bother me.
Yeah. So this sounds like there's a lot of ballast in that meal, isn't there, in that last lunch?
Doesn't matter anymore, does it?
No, it doesn't matter. You can have whatever you want. And what are you drinking?
What would I go with? I would go with a root beer.
Yeah, nice.
Because I grew up, one of the places I grew up was near an American air base, and the school bus used to pick up the American kids and us to go to school, to go to the Catholic school. And I would swap my Dandelion and Burdock for their root beer. And that was way before any root beer was ever in this country. And then
Yeah.
McDonald's came in the, I'm guessing, 80s.
I think it was. I had my first McDonald's after Mass at Westminster Cathedral. We'd gone for some big old shindiggy thing. I can't remember what it was for. And there was a McDonald's in the square outside Westminster Cathedral. And I think that was in 1978.
Might well have been around that time.
I think.
And they had
I
root
might be
beer. Well, they
wrong.
started with root beer. And then nobody in England bought it because
Yeah.
it tastes like Railjack smells. So nobody really went for it. I loved it. And so I now get root beer. I get root beer myself from an
Yeah.
American shop in town.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this short break.
What happened, dear Nick? What happened? The death.
Well, look, over the years, I've done all kinds of weird and wonderful things, and I've had loads of accidents. I fell off a truck in Africa and did myself severe damage and got sort of airlifted back to the UK. I've done loads of ridiculous things and damaged myself and had rugby injuries, and I'm probably the most scarred person you'll ever see. I had after I bust my shoulder in Africa, because one of the things was I fell through an iron thorn tree when I came off, so I had loads of like these iron thorns under my skin all over.
Oh my God.
And I'd also had various bones and things chipped from playing rugby and things, so I had an operation to take them all out at the same time.
Yeah.
And I ended up with 138 staples in my body. I looked like a tattooist or like a piercer had gone mad whilst I was asleep.
God.
So I'm literally covered in scars.
You could see the staples. You could actually see the
Oh
staples.
yeah, they're about the size of a pinky ring.
Oh my God.
Just because they said, look, we can't get them all out in one go. I was like, why not? And they said, well, because it takes too long to stitch it up. I was like, is there any other way of doing it? So we could staple it, but you'll end up with a scar. I was like, I don't care.
Have you got a really high pain threshold, Nick? Are you
I
like...
don't think so. I think probably, yeah, pretty good high. But it's difficult to say, isn't it? I mean, like any time that any bloke thinks he's got a high pain threshold, he hasn't given birth to a baby. So at that point, it's game over, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I don't think compared to women and having babies, but I think.
But if you
it's
had
pretty
some,
good.
if you had some staples in your chest, for example, I'm painting a picture here. Would you be more like, "Way," breasting into the wind, or would you be like, I'm imagining the former.
I'm more likely to be to whinge on about a really bad man flu than
Yeah.
I am about
a staple.
like a shattered knee, or which I've had various accidents. I shattered my knee and dislocated my knee.
Which part of your body is free of scars?
The right side. Oh no, free of scars.
Yeah.
No side.
No
my
side.
right leg. Hang on, let me think. Is it my right leg? I never know which one. Where was the motorbike accident? No, that's the motorbike accident. Took my kneecap off. So
Took your kneecap off?
yeah, they sewed it back on though, so that was all right. It was.
What was it flapping? Oh,
It was off on one side. Yeah.
oh Nick.
I didn't realise at first because it was a big accident. Actually, weirdly, I had the accident. I came round because I knocked myself out. I'd hit a lamppost, and I was laying on the floor. And I came round. I tried to pick my bike up, and I couldn't lift it for some reason. I couldn't work it. Anyway, the ambulance turned up, and they were like, "We've got to take you to hospital." I was like, "No, I'm fine. I just need to sort my motorbike out." And then as they went off up the road, I realised and sort of collapsed, and that I was in pain, and I collapsed. So they took me into this house and then rang my dad. Now, my dad at the time had a Fiat 127. I don't know if you know what a Fiat is. It was like a slightly bigger than a Fiat 500 hatchback. So my dad turned up and he's like, we need to get him to hospital because obviously my kneecap was off, and I realised I couldn't pick the bike up because I'd broken both my wrists and my fingers and all kinds of other things as well, and my ankle. So like, well, how are you going to get him to hospital? We'd like, and the bloke whose house I was with went, I've just changed my front door. I've got a spare front door down the side. So they put me on the front door, opened the hatchback and slid me in the back of my dad's Fiat 127. And he drove me up to Kent Sussex Hospital and went in, and they came out and slid the door out and took me into the door so they could put me, and they stitched my kneecap back on, amongst other things. So that was quite good fun.
That is DIY SOS in the raw, isn't
Yeah.
it? You on a door in your dad's blooming estate. That's
But
hilarious.
like various things about like ridiculous things. I do have a go at ridiculous and dangerous things. I don't ride horses, but I've jousted 3 or 4 times. I've played polo on horses.
Why have you jousted?
I've ridden.
Why have you jousted? In Italy?
Because, no, this was when I was doing news, and there was like the group called the Devil's Horsemen that were doing jousting, and I turned up to cover it. And the bloke who was running it, a guy called Gerard, who was hilarious, said, "Do you want to have a go?" He said, "Do you ride horses?" And I went, "Yeah, of course. You know, you do, that's what you say, isn't TV,
Yeah.
isn't it?" Yeah. So I was like, "Yeah, right." He said, "Well, you can go on this horse." So I'm lining up. There's a big crowd. It's like in front of a crowd of people. So I'm lining up with the guy in front of me sets off. He's got like a helmet and stuff on. I'm only wearing chainmail, but the guy in front sets off. His trick is when he gets hit on the shield, he rolls backwards off the horse.
Right.
Gets somersaults in the air and all very dramatic.
Crowd go wild.
Yeah, but unfortunately, exactly that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, his chainmail gets caught on the pommel and he goes under the horse, and the horse runs for about 30 metres, kicking the living daylights out of him. St John's ambulance comes in, onto a stretcher, he's bleeding from every orifice, onto the back of the ambulance, and off they go. So Gerard comes up to me and goes, "You're off next." And I was like, he said, "Look, 2 things. When you get hit on the shield, just pull the reins, and the horse is the falling horse. It will basically rear up and then fall over on its side. Your job is to make sure your leg isn't under it when it falls over."
This sounds...
So it's okay. So I did that and got away with it.
That is absolutely marvellous. And I completely... What about the death, Nick? What about the death?
Well, that's what I'm saying. So I would hope that it would be something like 2 years ago, I was riding horses on Mongolia, learning how to ride without my hands to fire bow and arrows at targets, like the Mongolian horsemen. And it'll be one of those things, going up in a hot air balloon in Morocco, or skiing when I don't ski. I had to interview the Prime Minister in New Zealand. I had to learn to ski in the morning so I could interview her on skis in the afternoon.
What, you interviewed her on skis?
Yeah.
As you were going
I've never
down?
skied before. I had the morning to learn how to ski. And then she said to me, halfway through the interview, she went, "You're rubbish at this." I was like, "Well, I only just started learning this morning." So we went skidooing on a mountaintop instead.
Did you have to hold a microphone as well?
Yeah, while I was talking to her.
So what were you doing? Were you snow ploughing?
It was the only position I had. I didn't know how to do anything else. But the trouble was, she was going one way. I drift away from her. I said, "Do you mind following me? Because I can't change direction."
That is...
Helen Clark, Prime Minister of New Zealand.
That is... This all ties in really well with the high vis and the ladder, doesn't it? It's you just kind of going, "Yeah, I can do that."
Yeah. So it'll be one of those things. I think what did for me was the overconfidence, having a go at something that I can't do, and just going, "Yeah, of course I'll do it. I'll have a go at the downhill ski jumping or
On horseback.
on horseback." Yeah.
I think it's got to be horse related.
Or of course I've been to Africa tracking lion on foot and getting really close and up close and personable with lion and rhino and things like that. One of these days, something like that's gonna. So I would hope it would be something heroic like that.
I like that. That's very strong. Now, time for you, Deathlings, to get involved.
This is from Olive in Grimsby. Lovely place, Grimsby.
Yeah, love Grimsby. Great fish and chips.
Great fish and chips, great smoked haddock. They have a smokery there that's like covered in tar. That's
Yeah.
beautiful smoked haddock.
I love a kedgeree, don't
Yeah,
you?
it feels a little bit left behind because you don't go.
Yeah.
Grimsby's not on the way to anywhere. A bit like Hull.
Yeah.
You go there because you're going there.
Yeah.
It's not on the way to anywhere else.
Good glasses, by the way, Nick.
Thanks very much.
Lovely.
They're cheap replacements because I can't have proper glasses because I sit on them, break them, and leave them in taxis.
They're good. They're good glasses, though. They're good.
Thank you. How do you lovingly tell someone they're absolutely shit at their hobby? Do you want to read the rest of it or
Yes,
answer
please.
then? Okay. After binging Homes Under the Hammer and Interior Design Masters, my husband has decided he's an interior designer despite zero experience.
Oh.
He recently redecorated our office and it's now a crime scene. Murky walls, mismatched furniture, cable spaghetti, and one sad lamp that somehow feels judgmental. It's less of a workspace and more a warning. I'm secretly getting it redecorated whilst he's on a business trip. Pray for me, Olive from Grimsby.
That's a great email Olive. I tell you what, our deathlings, our community, Nick, they write such blooming good emails. Keep them coming in. The thing that really stuck with me there was this. What was it? The spaghetti, the cable spaghetti.
Spaghetti cabling.
Oh, that's bleak, isn't it? I can't bear spaghetti cabling.
Well, I'm a bit of an obsessive about this when we do builds.
Yeah.
It's like I don't want any wall mounting cables or any cables visible, and I would rather drill the entire wall out and make a massive mess to get it buried in the wall.
Yeah.
If you like have a television on the wall,
Yes.
and then you put cables down the wall, when you put trunking on to cover it, I don't like the trunking.
Horrid.
I don't like that, and you don't like wall mounted anything really.
No.
So
no.
I drill into. Yeah, this is difficult actually because people do watch programs and go, "Oh, I could be a designer," and they can't.
Yeah.
Design.
Yes.
It turns out I've been ripping the Mickey out of Gabby, our designer, for years and years and years. I say, "What? You can go to college for this?" Surely it's just a made up thing, isn't it? But actually, she's brilliant, and she sort of worked with Nina Campbell, who was like the doyenne of design.
She was
in the UK.
queen. She was our queen.
I think you have to be born with that kind of eye. She sees a space in a room and envisages what it's going to look like at the end. What I see is a house that I need to do all the structural work on, and I can visualize what I need structurally to make it happen. But I don't have that thing. My wife Katie is very, very good at seeing and the house. She's turned the house we're in into a very beautiful home, and I've had zero input. However, this is really important. When she asks me what my opinion is, I have to take an interest. Be very careful not to plump for something, though.
Yeah.
Because the moment I plump for something, you should say, no, you're wrong, obviously.
Yeah.
But to say what I don't care and just do whatever you want, you've got to show an interest, but without having an opinion. It's quite a fine line to tread.
Do you ever have arguments over design things?
No.
You just she's in charge basically.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
No, she's in charge. Well, first of all, she's got much better taste than me.
Yeah.
You complimented me on my coat when I walked in. That was one of her choices. It was like, when we got together, all of my...
It was good. It was a military coat. Very strong, with nice brassy
a lot
buttons.
of my jackets and snakeskin trousers and boots all went out the window. And
I once saw you, Nick, on the sort of vague outskirts of London, and it was a great moment. I'm going to use the word. I don't know if you can use this word these days, but I'm going to use it. Pimp rolling down the street in a floor-length fur coat.
Yeah, faux fur, I should point out.
Faux fur, absolutely.
Really important to say that because I'm not a
Do you remember that phase?
No, I went through a phase.
Yes, I'm so glad you remember. And some big shades. And I thought, Huggy Bear, eat your heart out.
It's exactly the vibe I was going for.
Nick Knowles.
Pair of cowboy boots.
Yeah.
Yeah, pair of cowboy boots.
I think there might have been a tracksuit as well.
Faux fur. No, it wasn't. No, I didn't. Never been a tracksuit person. But cowboy boots, faux fur, jeans of some kind of some kind. Probably a granddad style collarless shirt underneath. Big hair, maybe even an Akubra Australian hat on as well.
It was brilliant.
I was once negotiating or going out for lunch with the head of BBC One and head of Factual and a couple of other big cheeses. And as we left the building, my friend Annie Heather, who was a series producer, who had the most acerbic wit ever, was fantastic. And she was still at the front having a cigarette. And as I came out with her, with the
cheeses,
the big cheeses, she looked at me wearing that very similar garb and went, "And what have you come as today?" I've gone through various stages, but there's another thing to it as well. At that stage, my children were young, growing up, and we used to go out shopping, and it's the dad's job to embarrass them in some ways. I dance to music in lifts, on shop floors when we're in TK Maxx. I'll dance to the background music.
Good man.
You've got responsibility as a parent to try and embarrass your kids a little bit.
I felt. What did I feel when I saw you? No.
What?
No, I think I sort of went, yes, like that to myself in a sort of Tim Henman way. I felt pride on your behalf. That's what I felt.
I think you also felt but yeah, there was a...
No, actually, hand on heart, I didn't. I thought there is a man who feels secure in himself.
I think that's, again, we go back to that, like...
And it was a banging coat as well. It was a banging coat. It was literally, it was like a train almost.
It was a huge,
It was a massive fake faux fur coat.
And I remember the moment I decided I was going to get one of those. I was watching a 1940s or 30s or 40s black and white movie, like one of those old Chaplin-style movies.
Oh, lovely.
And there was a millionaire turned up in a Rolls Royce. And as he stepped out in a fur coat that had one of those massive
collars,
sort of collars on it. That was a very distinct thing. That meant he was a millionaire because he was wearing this big coat.
So there you go, Olive from Grimsby. I think
Did we answer anything that she said?
No, I think we did.
Okay.
I think we did. Redecorate the room, absolutely. But also maybe look at the clothes you're wearing and redecorate some of those, because there's some very, very good tips in there. Listeners, if you want to get your mail read out on the podcast by one of our frankly superlative guests, like the wonderful Nick Knowles, we don't have any beef anymore, we've made it up. The email address is mel@deathpodcast.co.uk. We go through all your correspondence over on 6 Feet Under, so make sure you subscribe on Apple Podcasts or head to wheretheresawill.com for all those juicy, pizzazzy details.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this short break.
Now, slightly sad, let's focus on this.
The funeral.
Nick Knowles' funeral. Those words make me feel sad. Can I just say I'm really enjoying this, Nick?
Are you?
And all thoughts of 2003. Hold my hand. All thoughts of 2003. All thoughts of 2003 and my ill behaviour have now disappeared.
Do you know, I think one of the things that I might like, I don't care about what was said, or you say you made a joke of, like, if you get upset
It was
about this.
mean, but it was Tom, it wasn't
It doesn't
me.
matter. But the point being, what I worry about is like kids today will make jokes backwards and forwards to each other, and then in 30 years' time they're going to be CEO or an MP or whatever, and that's there forever.
Yeah,
Do you know what I
that's
mean?
true.
And like,
Yeah.
we make jokes about it, and that's fine. But like stuff that you do now, I think that's really harsh. If I like everything I was recorded from
Oh my
stupid stuff
God.
I said when I was a kid,
Oh my God.
like what a
Yeah,
being-
kids, don't say stuff and don't record it all the time. Get off
don't-
this.
yeah.
Get off all this, kids. Yeah, if you're watching.
Yeah.
Just enjoy. Put
Go
the
out,
phone away.
do
Go out.
ridiculous things. What was the question? Who
The
was dying?
question was the funeral, Nick.
Oh, the funeral.
Who's
Well-
there? How many? What's going on?
Well,
What are you
obviously,
envisaging?
I want them to hire St Paul's Cathedral and have people come from all over the country and block traffic. I'd like a motorbike parade because I love my motorbikes and I've ridden motorbikes so I'd love a motorbike parade. I'd like several choirs.
Are you on a gun carriage?
That would be lovely, wouldn't it?
Quite
Yes.
nice.
I think that's
Military, full military.
Full military honours would be nice as well. Done a bit with the military over the years. Police
Red arrows.
escort.
Red arrows.
Why not? Why not? Why the hell not?
What
And
the-
actually get the last Concorde, reservice it, and have that fly over as well.
So good. We're talking. This is more bells and whistles than a royal funeral.
Yeah, but given I'm 63 and I've never had so much as an MBE or anything like that, so it's not going to happen, is it? But I'd love the idea of all that happening.
Do you want me to apply? Because I can.
No.
Are you sure? I can.
No,
Or
I'm
you-
only joking.
No.
They don't give that kind of stuff to people like me.
No, listen. But all I need to do is go online. I'll do it.
Are you on good terms with them, are you?
Well, no, but I've never done it for anyone. But I would do it for you, Nick, because
No.
you're my new best friend.
No, I'm only joking about it. It's honestly, it's fine. No, yes, that'd be nice. But I said recently had this conversation with my best friend of me, and I was saying, like, you see funerals where everybody turns up in black and it's all quite dour. And I
Yeah.
like the old wake when they used to bring the body home to the house.
Yeah.
And then everybody have a drink and a party and tell stories. And I think it's a really
Yeah.
important, actually, genuinely, on a serious note, I think it's a really important thing to do, to have a party, tell stories about, because you can get, I deal with bereavement a lot through the work I do.
Of course you do.
And people get locked into the last few weeks, then they're really ill and can't get their heads out of it, and then
Yeah.
go, I can't celebrate this year. We don't celebrate my wedding anniversary anymore because my mum died 2 days before my wedding anniversary,
Yeah.
or don't celebrate my birthday because my dad died 2 days before on my birthday, so I don't. All that, you've got to get that out of your head. You've got to
Yeah.
celebrate the life and
Yeah.
And I said to my cameraman, what I want is everybody to have a party and
Some gags.
and tell jokes and have a great time. He said,
Yeah.
Nick, I think I can almost guarantee when you die there'll be a big party. Amongst directors, if nothing else.
When you talk about bringing the body home, because I think that's a brilliant thing to do. I love that. The Welsh do it, the Irish do it, of course.
We used to do it, yeah.
We used to do it, but we've become very taboo and quite Victorian, I think, about the way we
Yeah.
sort of handle death, even now. Would you want open casket? Do you want people to see you?
I don't think that's necessary.
No.
I think, but having what they used to do was bring the body home in the basket, and they'd have it on the dining room table.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then it would stay there for the week. And it's interesting that came up recently, and I'm sure the lady won't mind because I've talked to her since. But basically, she was bereaved and lost a daughter.
Yeah.
And she said when I did the interview with her, which was a few months later, she said I had a home for the week after she died before she was buried, and I had her at home in the house. I said that's unusual. She went, well, she was only 9 years old, and she wouldn't. There was no point where she was alone during her life. So why would I leave her alone in the hospital? So, and she said, and that really helped me process before we got to the funeral. And I thought about that, and I thought, yeah, we used to have wakes and used to like tell stories and have a good laugh. And
well, listen. Let's just do it. We've done the funeral, haven't we? It's bells, it's whistles, it's full pomp. There's blooming flybys. There's probably somebody on a balcony somewhere. There's guns going off. There's the whole kit and caboodle. We've done that. Let's cut to this.
The will and the wake.
Talking of the will, stuff, booty, whatever. What is it and who's it going to?
well, there's none left anyway.
Nothing.
No. What's happened is that over the years, things like, for example, I had one of the helmets from Gladiator, the movie Gladiator. I actually had one of the helmets used in
Wow.
the movie.
Russell's? Sure.
Sorry?
Russell's?
Yeah, one of Russell's ones, yeah. And because they had about 8 of them they made for the movie. And so I got hold of one of them. That's migrated into one of my son's houses. I had a dinosaur, like a fossil collection. That's migrated into various other people's houses.
Oh, I love a fossil. I love a fossil.
But when I, some years ago, my partner at the time, I had it in the living room, and it migrated to the dining room, and then it migrated to the shed, and then it migrated to somebody else's house.
Okay.
They weren't so keen on them.
Keen, yeah.
So,
Does stuff matter to you?
not at all.
No.
I'm not. I live in a very little house. I drive an old car. I've got a nice watch, but that's because my mate started a watch company, and I sort of helped him, and he gave me a watch as a birthday present.
Yeah. So you're not like a pharaoh. You don't want to be buried or, with all the stuff.
I don't think I have anything of worth at all.
Is money important to you?
Never. I've only ever taken an interest in, as long as I've got enough to be fine. Over the years, it sounds terrible, but if you come from where I come from, not everybody in the family got to earn like I did. So things like building a recording studio for my brother, who's a musician, so build a recording studio for him. My sister helped her buy a ballet school because she's a ballet teacher, and she wasn't doing ballet. She should have done, and she's done brilliantly out of that, and that's great. My nieces are over that side of running that now, and that's gone well. And then things like,
You're constantly building for other people, Nick.
No, I didn't do the building. I paid someone to do it.
I know, but it's lovely.
But,
it's lovely.
things like, at one point, my brother got an injury and he couldn't keep his allotment up, and they were going to take his allotment away because they're quite serious about that kind of thing because it was a bit overgrown.
Yeah.
So I paid someone to go and maintain the allotment. Or nephews or nieces who've got into payday loans, or they want to get their qualification in something. So all that kind of stuff. And then there's a chunk of it that I've just given away because I've done pretty good over the years. So no, money's never really been, as long as I can basically look after everyone.
You're quite like Jesus, Nick.
Aren't I?
You are.
No,
I want you to form a religion.
I am absolutely not in any way like. No, look, the things I enjoy are people. So I've thrown lots of parties over the year, and and dinner parties, and hired there's a stately home that I used to hire quite regularly, I could invite 100 people down and have a dinner together and things like that.
Nick, I can't bear it. We are coming fairly close to the end of this podcast now, but there's one thing I must ask you to do.
Okay.
And it's very important. It's probably the most important thing I'm going to ask you ever to do.
Spin, 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 spin for your sins.
I'm going to pass this over to you, Nick, if you wouldn't mind.
Thank you very much. What a magnificent contraption this is. This must have cost thousands.
It did. If you turn it away from yourself so you can't see it,
okay.
and if you wouldn't mind spinning, that sounded rude. I meant spin for your sins. I'm going to say thank you very, very much, Nick Knowles, for coming on Where There's a Will, There's a Wake today. It's been just so brilliant chatting with you. And I feel that peace has been made. You didn't remember it, but I did, and it hurt. Peace has been made.
I've forgotten about it, but I've got a bit of a combo now. Now I'm angry.
Oh no, then we're going to have to make peace again, Nick.
I'm only joking.
No, we're going to find out where Nick has ended up for all eternity. Do you want to know? Come across to our adjacent podcast, 6 Feet Under. You know what to do. Go to Apple Podcasts or wherethere'sawillthere'sawake.com. Join us. You'll hear more anecdotage. There's more of Nick Knowles, just in every way, shape or form and dimension. Come with us. See you there. You're listening to Where There's a Will, There's a Wake with Mel Gedroich. The senior producer is Charlie Morrell, and the producer is Naya Dio, otherwise known as the Goddesses. The engineer is Matthias Torres. The assistant producer is Rani Prescott. The production coordinator is Eric Ryan. Music by the Rathbones. And the executive producer is Ollie Wilson.